fact is that there are animal owners, there are animal lovers, and there are animal kooks. And I respect and love all of you. But what do you do when your dog relationships are so strong that sometimes they interfere with your life relationships? Kris Rotonda talks about that and has a website dedicated to it. Kris, welcome to the Michael Graham Show. I appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
Now, before we get to the signs that your spouse or significant other cares more about Fluffy than they do about you, tell me about your website and what you do.
All right. YouMustLoveDogsDating.com is a website for people that share the same passion for what we call man's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying, because you know what, in my personal experiences, it's been hard to find someone that shares that same passion. I'm an owner of 4 dogs, actually, and it's really hard to find someone that gets it, kind of understands it, and it inspired me to make a site to bring people together to, that share that same passion.
Now, how has You Must Love Dogs worked as far as your personal relationships?
In what way?
Do you have a significant other?
Yes, I do. I have a girlfriend. Her name is Denise. And actually, when I first met her, she wasn't a huge dog lover. But after being with me for about a year, she totally gets it now. And they're like her kids now, too.
So, so they're like your kids.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do you have kids?
No, I do not have kids.
Well, see, I have kids, and I also have dogs, and my dogs are nothing like my kids. My kids are my actual children, human beings. Dogs are just, animals. So,
right.
So you put people together who think of themselves as pet parents so that they can date other pet parents. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes.
How do you know that your co-pet parent is more concerned about the dogs than they are about their spouse?
I guess for me, when I met a girl, I always tell her that the dog came first in the beginning, just to let her know that yes, it does show compassion and a big-hearted person. I don't think you should ever put the dog before the spouse as the relationship grows.
Mm-hmm. But you start off with, you're just you, the dog is the dog.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. We're talking to Kris Rotonda, YouMustLoveDogsDating.com. How did women respond when you let them know that it was Fido's first and female second?
For the most part, they all usually get it. I haven't had the most dating experience, but for the most part, they get it.
If you met a woman and you thought everything was right and she was very attractive and the vibe was there, but she just said, look, I'm just not a dog person, I'm not comfortable with dogs in the house, etc., would that relationship have had any chance to go forward?
No, it's an absolute deal breaker for me.
Really?
Like I said, I have 4 dogs, and you got to accept them.
You gotta. Do you understand why some people might arch an eyebrow at the idea of lifting dogs up to the same level as people, and not just people, but dating people, boyfriend, girlfriend people, and spouse people?
Oh, absolutely. That's why it is a niche, but again, there is a huge amount of singles with dogs in the United States.
Yeah.
Actually, it's 72 million exactly, the statistics. But so it's a niche that's big, and for dog lovers, they absolutely get it. I've gotten amazing feedback through social media and through the website itself.
Sure. But Kris, maybe one reason why they're single is that they are putting their dogs ahead of people, and they would rather spend time with their dogs than with a date, and therefore the dates go, okay, fine, I'll find somebody else.
I get it. It's like the whole Carrie Underwood song. I love. The more people I meet, the more I love my dog.
Right.
But yeah, I get that. I mean, that's why it's hard, especially when you have. It's. I can't say it's like having a multiple kids and finding a spouse that can adjust to that, but in some ways it is, to a certain degree, I guess. But for me, 4 dogs, it's got to be something. Okay. I got to find someone special. One
last question, Kris Rotonda, and we appreciate your time here. Let me back up. Let me ask you the issue of the day. We've had a local kerfuffle at a restaurant because a woman, a dog lover, left her 2 dogs in the car while she was having lunch, and the windows were open, but some other people said that's not good enough. Where are you on dogs, cars, outdoors? Would you go up to a total stranger and say, I don't like how you're handling your dog?
I personally don't like that at all when you leave a dog in a car. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm from Florida. I live in Florida, so that's like a no-no because of the heat. I'm not saying it should be okay in colder weather, but no, I don't think it should be okay at all anywhere.
So you would go up to someone and tell them, hey, get your dogs out of the car?
Absolutely.
And what would you say when they said, hey, mind your own business?
I would call the sheriff.
Wow. Over a dog?
They can get heat exhausted just like you can.